Let's get something out in the open right now. Aliens Colonial Marines was not well received. I've yet to meet anyone that thought it did the Alien franchise justice. Sure, it had potential, but through misguided direction, the game never really lived up to its hype. Enter the Creative Assembly and their take on the Alien universe. This one is much more grounded and features some truly memorable scares. It is the absolute closest we've ever gotten to playing in the Alien universe as originally imagined by Ridley Scott in the 1979 classic Alien. It's pulse-pounding, horrifying, and will leave you on the edge of your seat for the duration of the game. Now that's what Alien was always about. Alien really comes to life in this game. The developer absolutely nailed the look and feel of the 1979 film. You take on the role of Ellen Ripley's daughter Amanda, who is looking for information about her missing mother. If you've seen the Ridley Scott directed film, you know exactly what happened to Ripley on board the USCSS Nostromo. Amanda arrives on the space station Sevastopol, only to discover the place is in utter ruins. There is no one around, and it looks like some kind of a battle took place. There are holes in walls, the power is out all over the station, and you can feel in the air that something's just not right. When you finally do stumble onto a survivor, they're not exactly the nicest person in the world. What you soon discover is that everyone who is left on the station is fighting for their very survival, and that some kind of nasty creature or monster has been picking them off one by one. From there, a giant game of cat and mouse ensues as you try ever so hopelessly to seek the information you've come here for and get out alive. It's in these moments where the game absolutely stuns. You'll peek around corners, use a motion tracker to ensure you're alone, and use the environment to your advantage as you slowly make your way through each narrow corridor. To say the game feels just like the original Alien movie during these moments is a complete understatement. You're literally living the movie, and it's absolutely incredible. One of the core gameplay aspects that I absolutely love is the fight or flight component. This instinct-based gameplay is one of the best features of the whole game. Imagine you're scouring around an office and you suddenly hear something in the ventilation duct. You only have two real choices available to you. Do you stand and fight, or do you run away and give up your position? If you fight, you only have access to a few sidearms, which really don't do much against the xenomorph. Or you could potentially use your flamethrower and convince the menace to back down for just a few seconds. Your other option is to run away, and while that might seem like the best option at first, doing so will guarantee that the alien knows exactly where you are, making your chances of survival near zero. So ultimately, do you really have a choice at all? Maybe you should just stay right where you are, hide behind a desk, and pray the alien walks by. While you make your way from one save point to another, which grant you a very brief moment to breathe, you stumble onto a lot of different crafting supplies. Collect as many of these as you possibly can, as they're your only means of not only healing yourself, but distracting the xenomorph. You can create first aid items, noisemakers, flashbang grenades, and much more. You have to locate blueprints before you're able to make said supplies though, so it's absolutely crucial you explore. I also really enjoyed the unscripted alien patterns because they always ensure you're going to be scared. You might know that the xenomorph dropped in a room, but you're never going to know whether he's going to go up into the ventilation duct or if he's going to stay on the ground floor, go on the second floor, and that will always keep you on the edge of your seat. The motion tracker also serves another purpose. It tells you where you need to go, so it's not just there to help you figure out, okay, the alien is sort of around me. It will actually pinpoint to where your next objective is, so that's really useful. And I also like the fact that you can whip out the motion tracker whether you're crouched, standing up, or anywhere really. And there's a lot more to Alien Isolation than just hiding behind furniture and running from xenomorph. There are areas you can't access unless you remove large locks from doors, little terminals you need to hack in order to bypass power to security cameras, air purifiers, etc. And there's even evil androids that are out to get you. And yes, the core gameplay pretty much always remains the same, where you have to hide from your enemies and use stealth, it's not as repetitive as people make it out to be because you're always on the edge of your seat, and that's the key thing here. Not everything is roses though. The graphics can be a little bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, the Xenomorph looks fantastic and the environments are gorgeous. There's volumetric fog, incredible lighting, and the attention to detail in the space station is nothing short of amazing. Sadly, some of the human character models don't look quite as good. The finer details in the face, for example, they're just not there. I also noticed on a couple of occasions the game would actually drop its frame rate during in-game cutscenes, which I thought was really odd. Alien Isolation really is a fantastic game, but I gotta admit, after around the 10-hour mark or so, it does start to run a little bit thin. It kind of feels like, well, okay, we've been here, done that. There is a lot of backtracking, and the gameplay, for the most part, is that giant game of cat and mouse. However, throughout the entire game, I had fun, and that really has to count for something. And for the most part, this is one of the creepiest games I have ever played. There's just something scary about being hunted and having virtually no items at your disposal to protect yourself. And if you enjoy the Alien franchise, I highly recommend you give Alien Isolation a try, because it's a pretty amazing game. For the full written review, be sure to check out ProjectCoE.com.